can I find God's will for my life? This is a common question for many Christians, regardless of how old they are or what stage of life they're at. And it's a question that we can find help answering from the Bible. From Psalm chapter 37, verse 4, which says, "Delight yourself also in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." Now, I think many times we misunderstand this verse. We take it to mean that if we do all the right things, like reading our Bible, going to church, witnessing to people about Jesus, then God will give us whatever we want. But the problem with this interpretation is that it places all the emphasis on us, and it reduces God to some kind of tool, something that we use in order to achieve our own goals. Well, in order for us to have a correct understanding of what Psalm 37:4 is trying to tell us, we need to look at a few other scriptures. Now, the Bible is clear in many places that God is to be praised, thanked, and admired, not so that we can get on his good side, so that we can get what we want, but because he is worthy of our worship. Revelation chapter 4, verse 11 says, "For you are worthy of glory and honor, for you have created all things." And Isaiah chapter 61, verse 10 says, "I will greatly rejoice in the Lord, for he has clothed me with the garments of salvation." Our circumstances and feelings, they change all the time, but God's character never changes. And so we ought to delight in him every day because he is worth our delighting in him every day. If we worship God regardless of how we're feeling or what our circumstances are, then we will develop the proper attitude toward God and toward his will for us. Instead of seeing him as somebody who wants to make us miserable or who wants to deny us all the fun in life, or as seeing him as somebody that needs to be manipulated, instead we will see him as wise, as loving, as just. We will come to want to obey him. We will want to choose the things that are pleasing to him. As we set aside our own agendas and as we focus on him, God will go to work in our hearts and in our minds. He will begin refining our desires so that they start reflecting his own desires, which are good. Sometimes he'll even give us brand new desires that we had never even considered before. If you are a Christian and you're wondering about finding God's will for your life, I would encourage you to make a habit every day of simply praising him, of thanking him, of admiring him, of meditating on him. And then you can watch and see as God shapes your desires, as he creates new desires within you that are desires that he would be pleased to fulfill. That's one of the ways that you can find God's will for your life.